reunited. It has been difficult without her these past years. When I'm weak, it's always been her voice that gave me strength. When she loses hope, I ignite that hope for her. That being said, I must confess that I am worried about her. Her health falters, yes, but my concern is with her resolve. I fear that some piece of her was lost in her time with the Crofts. She must have faked her emotions for Lord Croft so powerfully they became real. And now I feel that fear has spilled over to Laura.
What's this thing? Can I shoot it? Okay. I need to change my jacket somehow. Bullets. I won't hurt you, Skillul. Feathers. I don't think there's anything else in here, really. Let me just pick this up. This is an animal, I think. Yep. Might just increase the brightness a little bit. So it's more visible for the people at home. I think that's probably the right decision. How do we get in there? Okay. Okay, that's how you get in there.
Jacob, I found a way to open the inner gate.
Head to the courtyard. I'm already inside.
So I got Shadow of Mordor. So we'll be streaming that again at some point. Probably in something I just call tooling around, which is just mucking about, really. And I also picked up Rare collection, the Retro Replay collection. So that has 30 games on, so I'll be playing those, and it'd be interesting to go back to the Spectrum games I played as a kid. And Dishonored, a Game of the Year edition. I've already played through Dishonored, and actually I bought the Game of the Year version on Xbox 360, which I intended to get around to playing again and never did. But it's difficult to stream on the 360, and I've got some ideas for what I want to do with that game. So we'll see how that goes. So there'll be lots of gameplay coming up. Okay. See if we can read this. Okay. We'll do that in a second. Oh, do I have to hold on to RT? Yeah. I don't understand this at all. Maybe the other side? Right, this... Ah, clever.
I have patrols headed to all the major dig sites. Here, here, and here.
What about these
Anna.
installations?
I need to get in there.
Few sharpshooters, scouts.
Do it. We have a lot of ground to cover, and Trinity wants the artifact found as soon as possible.
We aren't getting anything on satellite. Too much interference. Constant cloud cover. It's as if this place doesn't exist.
It wasn't supposed to. If this is truly where the Prophet hid the divine
Jacob.
source,
What is he doing?
it's a better place.
This is the place.
Shit.
I can feel it.
Be careful.
The Soviet records are quite convincing. But I want to get into those ruins myself.
And Croft?
We keep her alive. I cannot wait to leave this frozen hell.
Then I have good news. Reconnaissance from the scouts. The natives have a settlement on the other side of the mountain.
Soon, you will have your day.
We both will. Just as long as you don't lose focus again.
What do you mean?
You're sentimental about her. The Croft girl, I can tell because she's still alive. We can't afford to dwell in the past.
You doubt me? You know what I've given to Trinity, what I've sacrificed, what I face.
I'm fine.
Life has not been kind to either of us, but I swore I'd always protect you.
Now who's being sentimental?
I promise you. All of this will be worth it in the end. With the divine source, you will live. But more importantly, you will live in a world cleansed of sin.
This is interesting.
Send your men to this
The bad guy
settlement.
never feels he's a bad
Find
guy.
out what they know.
I think I've heard that said a few times about characters in films and TV shows.
Let me have my pleasures. None of this will matter the day our work is accomplished.
Constantine, you're needed in the holding cells.
We're in this together, sister. Remember.
Always.
Oh, I thought they were special friends.
What are you doing?
Fools rush in where angels fear to tread.
Mankind shall be judged, the non-believers turned to ash and swept away, and the pure of faith will be raised up
It's
and
a
given
nuclear weapon.
life eternal. Get out! I'll find you!
We've got to find them. Keep looking.
They have to be here somewhere.
Prison floor is clear. Eyes open. She has to still be here.
On.
Oh, I can't turn around.
Got to find a way out of here.
I can't walk backwards. That's stupid. So there's a book called Chariots of the Gods by a guy called Eric von Daniken, and I think it was written in the 60s and 70s. And it's nonsense book, but it's kind of cool because he kind of suggests that civilization on Earth and the pyramids and so on
Lara, the train yard is on the north end of the Gulag. I'll wait for you there.
On my way.
Was seeded by aliens. So, and
Damn.
that if you look at
Got to get out of here.
the Bhagavad Gita or Hindu scripture, then there's stories in there that describe things like
Strange being in the field again. I was undercover for so long, locked in a life of comfort at Croft Manor. Here there is no comfort at all. The air is frozen, the food is canned and cold. The company, aside from Constantine, is abysmal. But I asked to be here. I need to be here. I do not have the luxury of time or patience. Constantine and I begin this journey together. I will be there when he fulfills his destiny. So for now, I'll breathe deep. I'll let the cold air burn my lungs. I'll let it remind me that I'm still alive. And let it fuel me for the final push towards our destiny.
and that there are things in kind of Hindu scripture that sound like nuclear weapons and spaceships and all this kind of stuff. And I remember one night at university I hadn't slept. I was up awake all night. And I think I'd already read about this book. And then I was reading a Dungeons and Dragons rule book. I think it was at university. And it described... it was a rule book that had myth and legend from the real world, but they were Dungeons and Dragons monsters and characters. And an ancient Egyptian character who was universe something something deity something
A military
something.
patch for Trinity soldiers. Aside from the design, there's no identifying text. They keep themselves hidden, even from their own foot soldiers.
And the character in the book was drawn as a midget, dwarf, with black eyes that had stars in them. And I had not slept in a long time, and I was convinced because that the ancient Egyptians really were from outer space. And I wasn't convinced. I was knackered. And then I dreamed that they're going to come and get me at night.
Got to get that wire out of the water.
Bloody stupid, really, isn't it? Still, makes for a good story to share on a stream.
Might be able to use this old crank.
This old crank. It's weird, it's giving me...
There.
It's giving me instructions for things I've kind of already done. Okay. Okay. I'm not really understanding what's going on here. Am I supposed to let this down? Like so? Am I supposed to jump onto that? Oh right, so you lift the cable out of the water. I didn't get that. Can I shoot this?